Welcome to section 3.3, using square roots to solve quadratic equations. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be solving quadratic equations by determining square roots. So to do this is pretty easy. All we're going to do first, if you follow the steps, any example we're going to isolate the squared term. So in this example here, we want to isolate this term by bringing the other terms over. We can simplify this a little bit further by dividing by 3. Now that we've isolated the square term, we can square root both sides of this equation. Squared and also square root 5. This is going to leave us with x, and we'll leave square root 5. Now, this is where it can get a little bit tricky, because x squared is equal to 5. Here, x is equal to square root 5. We actually need to say it's equal to plus or minus square root 5, because if you notice, the square root of 5 squared is equal to 5, but also the negative square is also equal to 5. So we're not sure which of these answers it could be, so we have to state both. We can try another quick example. X plus 3 squared is equal to 20. So, luckily here, step 1 is already completed. We've already isolated our squared term. All we need to do now is square root both sides. So we get x plus 3 is equal to square root of 20. But remember, whenever we square root, we need to say it is positive or negative. Now we can just bring that 3 over. X is equal to negative 3 plus or minus square root of 20. Step 3 tells us to simplify. We can say x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus 2 root 5. And you can either write your answer as this, or you could say that x is equal to negative 3 plus 2 root 5, or x is equal to negative 3 minus 2 root 5. And those are our answers. Next, we're going to try a method called completing the square. And we're going to use this using perfect square trinomials. And our perfect square trinomials tell us that a squared plus 2ab plus b squared is equal to a plus b squared. And likewise, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared is equal to a minus b squared. If you notice this example here, we can't factor this example easily. So we must use this new method, completing the square. And we're going to use these perfect square trinomials to do that. So if you follow along with the steps here, first we want to arrange the equation so that our ax and our bx terms are on the same side. So we'll get minus 5x squared minus 10x is equal to negative 2. Now if you notice, they're all negative, so I'm just going to make that 5x squared plus 10x is equal to 2. Step 2 tells us to group the ax squared and bx terms together. Divide out any leading coefficients. We can bring that 5 out. Perfect. This is the tricky part. We want to add and subtract half of the coefficient of the x term and square it. And what we mean by that is, if you notice here that 2ab, well, here this is the same as x, plus 2 times 1x. So we're going to add half of this term. So we're going to add 1 squared, and we're also going to subtract 1 squared. Now that we've done that, we want to take this 1 squared out. So we can say 5x squared plus 2x plus 1 squared is the same as 1. When we take this outside, we're going to have minus. We still have this 5 here. So we're going to have minus 5 is equal to 2. So 5x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 7. We can simplify this by bringing this 5 over. X squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 7 over 5. And if you notice, this is now a perfect square trinomial. So we can say x plus 1 squared is equal to 7 over 5. Square root both sides. Move over our 1. And there is our final answer. We'll do another quick example of that. And we'll do the same steps. First step, we want to isolate our x squared and our x by moving this to the other side. So we'll get 1/2 x squared plus 3x is equal to 9 over 2, and we'll group those together. We'll take out our coefficient. We always want to just have x squared as our leading coefficient. Next, we want to add and subtract half of this squared. So half of 6 is 3. So we want to add 3 squared, and we're also going to minus 3 squared. Now we can take this 3 squared out. So we'll have half x squared plus 2, 3x plus 3 squared minus 9 over 2 is equal to 9 over 2. We want to bring this to the other side, so half x squared is 2 times 3x plus 3 squared is equal to 9 over 2 plus 9 over 2. Now if you notice, this is one of our perfect square trinomials. So x plus 3 squared is equal to 18 over 2. We can multiply both sides by 2, giving us x plus 3 squared is equal to 18. Now we can square root both sides, so x plus 3 squared, square root, and also square root 18. That is going to give us x plus 3 is equal to plus and minus the square root of 18, which we can say, we can bring our 3 over, x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 18, And we can simplify this to x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus 3 root 2. That is our final answer.